Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today is a really exciting day because I just had my largest clutch ever. 16 eggs. We're going to review how we set up eggs really quick. I've already pulled these from the mother, and then we'll tell you what we are, and on Patreon, or what they are, and then on Patreon we'll kind of tell you a little story about how we accomplished this and what this exact clutch means to us with all 16 of them. Now, the way we use a perlite base, so you can see perlite, and then water. You need to have a lot of water. We have this plastic sheeting, which we just disinfect and rinse off, reuse. It is only to keep the babies out of the water, the eggs out of the water, so not absorbing anything. Now, this is a tall stack of eggs. So when I test fit my lid, like so, if you look in there, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, so I'll turn it there, you'll see a few of the eggs are actually touching the lid. That's no bueno. If I put them in like that, this lid is going to eventually get some moisture on it. Those top two eggs are going to suck up that moisture and it's going to cause me some problems. So what we're going to try to do very, very carefully is remove these top two eggs. Now when you do this, there's a chance you may rip an egg. I've ripped some eggs. It sucks. I've killed some eggs doing that, but I've also prevented a lot from dying. So, you know, it's just part of the process. So warm your fingers up. Nobody likes cold fingers touching them, right? Now it doesn't matter. So what I like to do is just start or a connection. Oh, and just peel. See, that's peeling off really easy. So there, you kind of find out where it's stuck at. It's stuck right around here. So I'll turn this so Kirk can see it a little bit. There, you can see it stuck there. So I just kind of place, and I gently pull, I gently pull, and I gently work, and I gently work, and I kind of watch. And if I think it's going to rip, there's some things I can do. I don't think this one is. It's like a natural adhesive they use.
Like glue?
Kind of. Now if you get that little hangout flyaway chunk there, you don't want to just pull that, you can just go snippy snippy. So now we're free there. We're still stuck right here and right here. So we're going to go ahead and work against the same egg first. And if you try an angle and it's not wanting to come, try a different angle. Okay? Now this one's stuck a little bit more. So we just kind of slowly work our way. And I told you some things you can do. If you feel it's too stuck, when you see that stretch, now you don't want to cut the egg, so this is a delicate process. Where you see that stretch, you can just kind of work on that a little bit. Another thing people do is use like a fishing line. I've never tried that method, but like here, you can see that is the connective tissue, right? So I can probably just kind of rub that away and see we're not leaking, so we did not cut the egg there. But this is a tedious spot, that is for sure. And just take your time, be careful. Anytime you're snipping around an egg, you know, now I can see a hole right here, so I'm able to, see, make a lot of progress. Now see there, we do have a little pinhole in that egg. So what we're going to do is stop right there. That'll actually seal itself back up, and that's going to be pretty common. So we're going to leave that be. We're going to try to work over here, because if we put pressure on that egg right now, we're going to just cause more leakage. There's some things you can do. Some Elmer's glue can seal that up, but when it's a small little leak like that, believe it or not, they're made to take that, and they will kind of just fix themselves. So that one came off really easy. So that's our only hold on spot right now. So what we'll do is look at what we're doing here. And you can see right there is where our hole kind of is. And this may be one that we do end up losing, but we may not too. So now we are going to get that separated. Perfect. And we'll just move those over here. Now our goal is going to be twofold right now. I want to keep them in roughly the same position they were laid in, which is about here. Well, at the same time, where that little small leak is, which you can see now, is not pouring out. So you can see what I'm talking about. That little bit of it's almost like a seepage will fix itself a lot of times. Doesn't give the egg as good of a chance as before. But we're going to try to keep pressure on that. If we had a bigger leak that was still seeping, that is when we would seriously have to consider doing a Band-Aid. Now we don't want a lot of pressure pushing on this egg, so I'm using this egg to kind of keep that up against the other one. That'll help keep that leak from going further. Kind of cool, just like that. So done, everything's braced, the lid should clear. Next thing we'll do, and this way you guys will know how that one fared. I know I got that out, there it is. I will mark that one with 1, so that'll be egg number 1. And you guys are probably wondering, 2 things. 1, why a ball python breeder? And see, this here is not seepage. That is just where that one was seeping onto it. So we do have a little bit of that there, but this egg's fine. Why these eggs are so tiny, and how in the hell we had 16 eggs as a bunch of ball python breeders, right? Because we're up to number 6 now, 7, 8, 9, hard to write on a curve, 10. And that's because these particular eggs are not from a ball python. So what these are is our first ever, well, kind of our first ever actual functional set of carpet python eggs. So this is made from a pairing of a jungle jaguar carpet python to a jungle carpet python. You cannot do jag to jag. Jag to jag is horrible. It's kind of like doing spider to spider. But single gene jag should be fine. Very beautiful. If you guys know Kronos, that will be the dad. And I'm really excited about this. We've only ever bred carpet pythons one other time, and it didn't go so well. We actually had an older female as her first year breeding. We didn't know how old she was. We found out doing some research after the fact. And she went egg bound on us, and there was no fixing it, and she passed away. We did recover a lot of the eggs. However, they had been in there too long, and they also passed away. So that sucked. This one was a surprise. We'd paired the snake 2 to 3 times. I didn't really see ovulation. I'd kind of said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it this year because we're going to move those carpet pythons to some new, more arboreal style enclosures upstairs we're working on. I thought I'm just going to wait till I move them there, and when I can do some temperature cycling that they like and some food cycling that they like, and I'll just do it then. Because this wasn't a big rush. It's all on my radar, and all of a sudden, I'm calling Kurt today saying, hey man, we had clutch number 1. You'll never guess what it is. And he's like, the pastel xanthic. I'm like, nope. Carpet pythons. So it kind of came as a surprise and a shock. So anyway, there we are. 16 eggs from a carpet python. And I will show you guys 2 really quick if we can. Let me just pull the string here. Boop. Well, that didn't help much, but we might be able to see. We have a lot of light in here. This is a good example. You can see it's very red, very fertile. This is the one that we did pop, and it didn't have much vein work in it, but I do recall seeing some vein work in that one. So I do believe it is fertile, but it's one of the newer ones. Over here, you can see the vein work down there. Vein work, vein work. So these are all looking really good. You can see it there. I didn't see any that were obvious slugs, so that is also good news. Kurt, any questions?
How is the temperature and the wait period the same as ball pythons or different?
You know, I'm actually have to check on the wait period because it's been so long since I've done that. I think it is fairly similar, but I don't think it was necessarily the exact same. So I have to do a little more research on that. But the temperature on incubation is close. Typically, these will do a little bit better, a little bit cooler than a ball python. So, we're going to run our ball pythons at about 90. I typically would run these maybe just a hair cooler. So what we would do in normal circumstances, this is our first clutch in the incubator, so it doesn't matter. But in normal circumstances, because we run our incubator with a temperature probe in the middle set to 90, I would just make sure that these are at the bottom of my incubator. That would keep them on a little bit lower temperature. I don't think 90 is a problem for them. That's not the issue, but they They'll do fine at 90, but they are not ones that are going to do fine at above that. So, 90 on a ball python on incubation is about the hottest you want to go, but truth be told, you can go up to like 92, 93 and probably really not see an issue. Some people try to do it to hatch them quicker, honestly, but you're running at the razor's edge. Here, you're running closer to that edge at 90, so they're not as good at that high of a heat as ball pythons. So, that's why your incubator right now will be set to 89. Well, these are in there by themselves and they'll be on the bottom. So that's kind of how we're going to rock that. So a little cooler, but you can run them in the same incubator as long as you're not running your ball pythons like, let's hatch out in, 51 days or 48 days and run it super hot. You should be okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's all I got. We're going to put these in the cooker. Clutch number 1 for 2021, carpet pythons.